I mean, I was getting inside. I know they're taking out little vans now, but they're not that.
No. I mean, they can park themselves and everything else, but they still got driver's seats.
Do you want me to load that stuff up from the office and bring it here? Or take it to the precinct? I get it all. Yeah. Right.
I guess that's sign.
Please. Yeah. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, please. Thank you, Lord, for this day. Thank you for the opportunity that we can serve our community. I pray that you help us make good business decisions. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Rex, how are you?
City Council meeting Monday, November 4th, 2019. Council order. Roll call, please.
Mary Brington.
Here.
Jeff Hancock.
Here.
Jerry Walden.
Here.
Aaron Dickens.
Here.
Mark Cover.
Here.
Lynn Purdue.
Present.
Rex Peckinpah.
Here. Any corrections or additions to the minutes from the former meeting?
Make a
Move.
motion.
Go ahead.
Make a motion to accept the meeting
Second.
minutes for the
Made
previous meeting.
and seconded. Any other questions or comments? Roll call vote, please.
Mary Brington.
Abstain.
Jeff Hancock.
Aye.
Jerry Walden.
Aye.
Aaron Dickens.
Aye.
Mark Cover.
Aye.
Lynn Purdue.
Abstain.
Rex Peckinpah.
Aye.
Motion carries 5 to 2 abstains. Mr. President, I'll turn this meeting over to you.
Thanks, Mayor. First is ordinance third reading, 3819. It's approving additional appropriation of funds. Move that we accept that.
I'll second it.
Motion made and seconded. Any other questions or comments? Roll call vote, please.
Mary Brington.
Aye.
Jeff Hancock.
Aye.
Jerry Walden.
Aye.
Aaron Dickens.
Aye.
Mark Cover.
Aye.
Lynn Purdue.
Aye.
Rex Peckinpah.
Aye.
Motion carries 7-0.
Next is a second reading of 3820. It's amending ordinance 3765. I move that we accept that.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Any other questions or comments? Roll call vote, please.
Mary Brington.
Aye.
Jeff Hancock.
Aye.
Jerry Walden.
Aye.
Aaron Dickens.
Aye.
Mark Cover.
Aye.
Lynn Purdue.
Aye.
Rex Peckinpah.
Aye.
Mark, should we
Carries
suspend the
7-0.
rules and have to go and finish it up?
Sure.
I'd like to make a motion to suspend the rules, 3820, third reading.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Roll call vote, please.
Mary Brington.
Aye.
Jeff Hancock.
Aye.
Jerry Walden.
Aye.
Aaron Dickens.
Aye.
Mark Cover.
Aye.
Lynn Purdue.
Aye.
Rex Peckinpah.
Aye.
I'd like to make a motion, third final reading, 3820.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Roll call vote, please.
Mary Brington.
Aye.
Jeff Hancock.
Aye.
Jerry Walden.
Aye.
Aaron Dickens.
Aye.
Mark Cover.
Aye.
Lynn Purdue.
Aye.
Rex Peckinpah.
Aye.
Motion carries 7-0.
Next is second reading of 3821, establishing a deferred payment. I move that we accept that.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Any other questions or comments? Roll call vote, please.
Mary Brington.
Aye.
Jeff Hancock.
Aye.
Jerry Walden.
Aye.
Aaron Dickens.
Aye.
Mark Cover.
Aye.
Lynn Purdue.
Aye.
Rex Peckinpah.
Aye.
Motion carries 7-0.
I'd like to make a motion to suspend the rules for 3821, third reading.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Roll call vote, please.
Mary Brington.
Aye.
Jeff Hancock.
Aye.
Jerry Walden.
Aye.
Aaron Dickens.
Aye.
Mark Cover.
Aye.
Lynn Purdue.
Aye.
Rex Peckinpah.
Aye.
Motion carries 7-0.
Make a motion for third reading, 3821.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Roll call vote.
Mary Brington.
Aye.
Jeff Hancock.
Aye.
Jerry Walden.
Aye.
Aaron Dickens.
Aye.
Mark Cover.
Aye.
Lynn Purdue.
Aye.
Rex Peckinpah.
Aye.
Motion carries 7-0. Patty, we might beat your record tonight.
Easy. Don't bet. Don't bet.
Easy now. That
Jinx.
concludes ordinances and resolutions. We do have some other business tonight. Penny York's here representing the EDC. Penny. Thank you.
Good evening, Penny York, Newcastle River County Economic Development. I'm here this evening to extend a second invitation to the city of Newcastle to be a part of our application process for the EPA grant. We received one, application process started back in 14, and we were awarded a grant. And this is some of the history which we're gonna go through, but first, just to make sure it's clear about what we need. I took it upon myself to construct a letter that the mayor would need to sign, and I gave you a copy of it as well. I just got the information this afternoon late, so I wasn't able to get it to you any sooner. I'm sure you would have liked this one sooner, Mark and Greg, but it just didn't happen. I work with a grant consultant, and so this application is going to be due November 27th. So it's certainly something that can wait if you have any questions and you don't feel comfortable signing it. We can certainly wait, or you can create your own. It just has to have some real particular things in it that I was just given today. So it just has to say you're happy to be a part of the coalition. So this coalition grant is Henry County government is the lead, which is similar to what we had last time. Then the city of Newcastle was a part of it as well, and I had your letter that you signed about five years ago in 2014. And then we also had Middletown, but this time it's not going to be Middletown, it's going to be Spiceland, who will be our partner, a part of the coalition, and I will be visiting with them and getting a letter of support as well on Wednesday. So what we're asking for this time is $300,000 in hazardous substances. This is an assessment grant, so it's going to be used to assess properties that either have hazardous substance that is there is suspicion of, or petroleum sites, former petroleum sites. So that's what we're asking for. We're not guaranteed that we will get it. We did a great job with our grant last time. It took a few years to get rolling, but we have used, with the year's extension, we have used all of our resources, except just some small amounts, to assess and get properties back into reuse or to clear properties of any suspicion of contamination.
Does a good job with that one aid us in the potentiality of getting this one?
It helps, so says our grant consultant, but every year there's little tweaks to the grant application process. And so we have to write a narrative that tells all the negative things of all the places that need to be cleaned up. And then we have to write a narrative about what happened with our previous grant. So it's all according to who's grading, what they're looking for. They took the application, it used to be 30 pages, then it was 20, it's 15, it's 10 now. So we used to get letters of support from lots of nonprofits like the Foundation, Habitat for Humanity, different places like that, but that's all condensed now as well. And so I sent emails to Mark Koger, Kim Crom, people that are president of the governmental institutions, and your name now just goes in a box, and it means if somebody calls, say you know that we are applying for the grant. So I got responses from every single person that I sent a note to. I sent one to Sean at the chamber, who said you would respond, you know, if you got asked about the grant, and that we were going through the application process. So to answer your question,
Maybe.
Yeah, it's just a
Okay.
maybe.
Okay, thanks.
But the application is narrowed down, so that's why the wording is crucial. She said get it all on one page, which I did, and it speaks real specifically to all the finer points of what needs to be said with the letter of support. So there's no match required, just in-kind donations for example, staffing, which would be me. You guys contribute to our organization, so staffing, we might ask to meet in one of your meeting rooms sometimes, say if we have a lead that's looking for the city of Newcastle, and I can think of instances like the old e-coders. There were times when we met with a company called Beacon Industries and worked really hard to get that process going so those folks would be able to buy that building, which they did. And so we could certainly say that we could contribute meeting space for something like that. So it speaks to that in the letter, which I'm happy to read if you want me to. But first, let's go through, if just quickly, open the first page, and you will see the different places that we have done some presentations, so we hit the highlights. The first one is downtown Newcastle. It is Mike and Patty's building, and it is Rose City Partners. Okay. So there's that one that has had assessment grants done and been put back into use. It's sold for $17,500 in 2014. So that's a property that was a benefit of the assessment grant. Below that is 1101 Broad Street. That's Rose City Partners as well. That sold in 2018. And you can see how that's been rehabbed. Next one, Hoosier Brake and Alignment. That recently sold. It was owned by Scott Kilgore and recently sold in 2018 for $179,000. These are all public records, so nobody needs to worry about me like telling me a secret. I found them all on Beacon today, which you all can too. But that was a property that Scott Kilgore was ready to move on and go back, continue his full-time job somewhere else, and so a young man purchased that. There's 2 additional jobs there, and the gentleman's getting ready to build out onto the north end because his business has increased. I haven't talked to him specifically, but he called Corey one day and talked to him a bit. So these are things that we know that are a fact. The last one is 2200 Troy Avenue. That's Beacon Industries, which was e-coders, and that property had hair all over it. It had a pile of dirt that had to be removed, taken to a landfill, but we did a phase 1, a phase 2 on it, and it was laborious getting that all. I believe Dave was involved in that, just getting it all across the finish line. But that was sold for $310,000 in 2018, and now there are 7 jobs there that would have been gone otherwise. So that's the testimonies of what this has done. This grant keeps me busy a lot. I deal with a consultant from SME, who's the consulting company we work with, so it's an EPA grant. Corey does parts, I do parts, and we've conducted a lot of phase 1s and a lot of phase 2s. We've spent a lot of money in, not on cleanup, but on assessing what is there. Now, something I didn't realize when we first started this out, if there's suspicion of contamination below the ground, then they use that money and they can pull tanks, which they did up at what's called Conman's. You know what I'm talking about? You know, the Brownfield, Indiana Brownsfields came in there. They pulled tanks. They got soil out. It was going across the street to A1 Towing, I believe, Brian Atkinson's place. So there's been a lot of money spent in this community on this grant. And we've benefited greatly from it. So, with that said, are there any questions?
Are there any sites that you're looking at the time, or have you even gotten to that?
You know, we have our eyes on a lot of sites, and the consultant and I drove, just to have wording to put in the narrative, we drove down to Spiceland. We didn't get so much traction around Middletown, for whatever reason, I can't tell you. There were a lot of sites that could have been looked at, but people are always very hesitant. As you can imagine, they're like, oh gosh, I'll get on the list. And that's not what it's for, but you do become a part of the records. Yeah, but you're probably already a part of the records anyway. So, we've been down to Spiceland, you know, that place was dotted with gas stations all
Yeah.
along the way there. And then there's a school that's in there, owned by somebody from out of state. You know, we put, I don't know, probably put a half a dozen properties in there, in that narrative, to take a look at, would they fit in the narrative? And, you know, there's still always Allegheny, Ludlow, you know, they never wanna do anything, but those are certainly places that are ripe for assessment. So, and there's plenty more up and down Broad, there's some on Fifth Street, and we can go all over the county. Just because we put Newcastle and Spiceland that has coalition members, doesn't mean.
That's gonna be my next question.
We can go anywhere. We've done a lot of stuff in Nicetown too. So.
And I wasn't looking for specific places, just,
Yeah, but-
and I figured you had ideas.
Yeah, you have to do your homework to get ready to do the next one to make it a good narrative, so.
The one I'm concerned about is, on Broad and Sixth Street. It was an old gas station, and then it was a car, mechanics
Texaco.
garage.
Yeah, so
Do we have any idea if there's
Yeah.
tanks underneath it? If, I have no idea who owns it.
it's,
Can we make the owner let us check and see if there, or do we have to have the owner's approval, or?
yeah, so it's Cartwrights, and I pursued them feverishly a couple years ago, just to the point where I irritated them. And so then I had to
How'd you do
back up.
that?
Hard to believe it, huh?
Never seen that happen before.
Yeah, so anyway, I didn't get anywhere with them. They're like, we're little kids. Yeah, people do that.
We're
We
gonna
can't make
leave
them
it to
let
their
us test it.
kids.
We can't make them, because the first step in the process is they have to fill out an access agreement. So Chris Shaw, our grant consultant, has to get onto the property, do a phase one, to, you know, take a peek around. And it's kind of a desktop audit, and then they look at the old Sanborn maps to see what's been there.
If it went into tax foreclosure,
It's-
could we do it then?
It's there, and that has been discussed around the table in our office. And so, my understanding is it just hasn't been delinquent enough to be in it yet, but that could be imminent. So, yeah, we asked that, because obviously it would probably go back to the city. I'm sure about residents. But nonetheless.
Well, that's why I'd like to know if it's got
Yeah,
contamination tanks in it. or
Right,
not.
so I
If we're
mean,
gonna get it.
I think there's
in the long
every
run.
reason to believe that it probably does. Somebody tried to buy it and then got nervous about it. And, so as long as you're not a part of the chain of title that was a polluter, you know, that would be an obvious person that would not probably wanna do it. So you'll be in the queue if you are. So the other thing is, there is some brownfields grant funding that one of our properties got, because there was not funding to, people didn't have any resources to pay for anything like that. So there was an opportunity, if you get the right place at the right time, you get something.
So if we've already got it in the works, like 25th Street, we can't use any of this for something that we're already working on.
Yeah, they're not hearing that at EPA, that's correct. They're not interested in that property until it goes through its process to get insurance recovery. So,
Okay.
they may or may not choose to mention it. Sorry to be so long. Mark, do you want me to read this? Do you want to read it? Do you want to talk
We've
about
all
it?
read it.
We've all read it.
I think we've all passed it around.
Is there any questions?
Is Spiceland are they apt to, or on the hook to help financially on this? Have they?
They are not on the hook. No, they are not. And obviously, there is no match, but Spiceland, we would ask them to be a part of saying that we could use their resources as far as rooms, or, you know, Darren Jenkins for a staff member to help us work through something.
Okay.
So they contribute $500 a year to us.
Right, right.
But other than that, that is their only investment besides any time.
Council, go ahead. If anybody has anything, now's the time.
Is there any reason to sit on this?
No, I would
No.
think we can do it tonight.
No, there's no reason to sit on it. I just want to make sure that the council
Especially if it's
understands.
in-kind donation, so.
I'll make a motion that we take part in this $500,000 assessment agreement with the EDC.
Can you,
And I guess I,
Part of your motion, Rich.
the letter does say
Authorize the
400.
mayor to sign.
It's 400,
It
300
is
for
300.
hazardous
And-
and
Okay.
100,000
As
petroleum.
Okay.
part of that motion, authorize our mayor to sign any paperwork needed to further this application.
It's right there.
So- So that's the motion. So somebody-
Second.
I second it.
before we go to vote, you guys did such a great job, you and Corey, of keeping us abreast of everything that happened in Brownfield, especially with Firestone and other places that we had, brownfields. But if you would just do the same with this as a courtesy, it would be awesome. I mean, not a monthly, but at least a quarterly update, or an email to us, one of the two.
And once we get the application, probably the day before it's due, I'll certainly forward that to you so you guys
That
can
would-
read. It's probably long and arduous,
But that would be awesome, so we could stay atop, and then you wouldn't have to discuss so much in an open meeting that we.
right. And, you know, if you guys can know of any sites, even if you think of it, shoot me an email, a text, or whatever, because those are things that I can follow up on, and, you know, I can run through that, be consistent in 5 minutes and figure out where it is.
I'd like for you to stay on the 6th Street.
Yeah.
If
Yeah,
you go on
that
Broad
one.
Street, I'd like to know about it.
But I have a question, this would be to Dave. You know, like the Allegheny site and of course the Firestone site, those are like huge projects, so those are really out of our hands, right? As
Yeah,
far as,
and correct me if I'm wrong, Penny, but since those are, well, the Firestone site, we may have to have litigation to resolve that. The owners of that have long since, the polluters have long since walked away from that, and that was an EPA. The EPA put a lot of money in that site.
Right.
So we have gotten agreement.
but Firestone has a lot of money.
Yeah, well, Firestone hasn't paid anything yet, so don't. The money to do the testing on that site, we came from our RDC, used to pay for the testing on that
Right.
site. But like Allegheny, that's still owned by Allegheny.
Right.
So they'd be responsible for an enforcement action if EPA decided.
I think they still have an employee that does samples out there too.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
do, so.
They do monitor it, but I
So
know
we-
that it's,
We place phone call after phone call, we write letters, write certified letters, and we do everything we can to get their attention. They're not really interested, you know?
They've made the comment publicly that they don't sell ever.
Property.
Yeah.
Team
So-
attitude.
Okay.
Anyway,
Can't
that's just how it
imagine
is
that,
with
yeah.
places like that.
okay.
Okay.
Any other questions or comments?
You have a second on that motion?
But yeah, there is a second.
Motion and
yeah.
a second. Any other
Okay.
questions or comments?
I
Roll
think
call
there's
vote,
about 3
please.
Mayor
seconds.
Barrington.
Aye.
Jack Hancock.
Aye.
Jerry Walden.
Aye.
Aaron Dickens.
Aye.
Mark Koger.
Aye.
Lynn Purdue.
Aye.
Rex Beckman.
Aye.
Motion carries 7-0.
I'll forward you a copy of the signed letter.
We'll move to committee reports. I'll turn the floor to Council Lady Brington.
The only thing I have tonight is, who do I get a hold of about the, flashing light going off on 25th at the railroad track closest to the village pantry? That thing, it flashes continuously, all the time.
The railroad track?
Yeah, right there, the crossing.
Is it street light?
It's a street light, isn't it? Street lamp?
No, the
Or
red
black-
flashing,
is the-
all
on
of,
the
railroad.
yes,
Yeah.
on the railroad, yeah.
There's a short or something in it, cause every once in a while, it just, there's nothing there.
I tried to call that and they put me on hold.
Yeah, good luck.
Forever. Okay.
Yeah, they were the ones that actually ripped out the roads so we could pave over that, so.
Yeah, and plus they had some big machine and they were going through ripping out, you know,
Right, that's what.
foliage and stuff, so I wondered if that might have tripped it, because it's been going off for a long
I'll
time.
call him. I wasn't aware it was going off.
Okay, thank you, that's all I have.
A few things, Your Honor. I had William Eaton lives on 1621 Q Avenue. Going across the street, part of it was probably a water line or something, but part of it's gravel, part of it's concrete.
What's that address?
1621 Q Avenue. The problem is when they come through there, it's 20 miles per hour, and he said they're driving pretty fast, but when he hit that gravel, the rocks, some of them are hitting his car and all that stuff. Are we gonna cut that out, concrete?
Yeah,
it, or-
we did it half at a time, so we didn't have to close Q Avenue, and we tried to get a cement truck last week, and we couldn't get one, I was too tied up.
Okay. Think so,
It'll be
next
done
week.
in the near future.
Okay, I'll let him know and all that. He was just a lot of concern because he's got some chip marks on his car and rocks where they come through there. Traffic committee, if I can meet with you here shortly after the meeting. And last but not least, good luck to everybody on the election coming up tomorrow. That's all you are.
Thanks.
That's it. DEP projects, if you haven't noticed, the houses, property structures have been tore down. Property still, there's still some work there to be done, but I think that puts us up to 60 properties. It's been taken down the last 3+ years. I think we might get an extension on that, Mr. Mayor.
Well, if we add some that we.
6
get by the
more
end of the year.
properties.
Yeah.
So
It's not an extension, it's just there was some money left. and we'll try
they're
to get
going
some
to
of
allow
that
us to use
before the
that.
end of the year. Yeah.
Okay, so there could be more coming down, so very proud of the work that the Housing Committee's done with that, and Ed Hill has spearheaded that, so he's had his hands full. I want to say congratulations to the girls volleyball team. Going for number 3, right, Mike? Still ranked number 1 in the nation. They're pretty awesome to watch. I've had to watch it on thanks to Mike. How have you been helping with that? I don't care about the IHF. They concern themselves with other things. But very proud of what they've done for our community, as all the fall sports did this year. We had some really good athletes, and they represent our community very well. Other than that, that's it.
Thank you.
I had nothing.
I have nothing.
I have nothing.
I don't have anything.
Had been for you, we'd have had a record night.
I still own that.
Yeah. Chief. 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 Dave. Council. Rick. Ken. Doug. Christie. Barry. Lee. Are there any citizens wishing?
Well, I think Lee was ready to
No,
say
yes,
something.
Do you want us to bring up the stop sign?
Yes, I did. Yes, major announcement. I was gonna do that last one. Go ahead.
There is a 4-way stop now at Indiana and 18th. There has been some confusion.
No, Mary's really celebrating that, because that's what she brought up first, and then she came up with the idea of the reflective mirrors, so very proud of her work.
Yeah, what are we gonna do with them mirrors now, guys?
Still looking at Walnut.
There's some other places that might
Still
work.
looking at Walnut.
Yeah, there's several other places that could
Yeah.
work.
But anyway, it's there. There's not proper signage at the state. Put stop ahead signs on Indiana Avenue instead of 18th Street, so people Friday were running 18th Street. There was several accidents at our chief
Yeah.
there. The time that I was called by the mayor to put up our own 4-way stop out in the middle of the intersection so people would see it. I know I saw probably 10 cars buzz right through on 18th Street, never slow down. So if we get something in the paper
Yeah,
that,
absolutely.
that's there, and then there's other changes coming at Grand.
Well, just two days before
Signs
that,
are already up.
we had a meeting with NDOT and asked them that they're gonna take the stoplight out at Grand and 103 or 18th Street. And it will be a through thoroughfare on 18th Street. And it's just a stop at Grand, like it already is, but it will be a 2-way stop. And so we specifically asked them if they could do both of those at the same time, so we could advertise it and promote it that it's coming up. And, oh yeah, we'll get back with you. So we get a phone call that there's a bunch of accidents at 18th and I Avenue, and I had to drive there to see if they'd taken the one out of Grand, and then I called Lee and Dave and the guy from NDOT. Thought it was gonna be 3 or 4 months down the road. He was furious that they'd already done it. So just a lot of lack of communication. But there's been, it's something we really want done at Indiana and 18th. But if we could promote that in the paper, that change has already been made, not coming, it's already been made. That there's been a lot of
I'll try to get out
close
and take a
calls.
picture to
go with it.
Don't let Aaron do that.
I got a picture.
There'll be mountains.
Mr. Mayor, who's gonna be responsible for the street markings
Well, they are.
on
The state.
18th
the state-
and Indiana?
The state's responsible for that.
Okay.
Yeah, and they've already put the stop bars down, but they marked it within 750.
Well, in town, actually, it's 250 feet. I looked it up again today. It's 250. Anything that's 30 miles or less, it's 250.
There's a stop coming up. Well, they put those informational signs on Indiana Avenue that the stop was already there. So they need to put them on 103 or 18th Street, 200 feet away, saying that there's a stop coming up. And, I mean, this did it backwards. So,
They already had those
Think they'd
signs
be
up on
better at
Grand
it.
Avenue, they're just covered.
yeah, but sometime we have absolutely no idea when they're going to take the stoplight out at Grand.
Lee,
And they,
on that note, I've noticed that's getting to be very popular are these stop signs with the lights, they're illuminated, they're flashing lights around the sign, they're solar
Yeah, they're
operated.
solar, similar to the speed limit sign.
Yeah, and in situations like that where it's, brand new, those would be very helpful in that
Well,
situation.
here's the thing, on that particular intersection, since that's a state road, that's up to the state to do that.
Yeah,
Indiana Avenue was already a stop on both sides.
correct.
I mean, to put flashing lights around Indiana wouldn't really help. They should have done it on 18th Street.
They should have.
I think when you put that sign out there in the middle, if we can keep that there for a little while,
Yeah.
that's gonna help
Great Knife Health
train
Company was there
people
at
and
least
get people
2
used to it.
Right.
So it'll be there at least 2 this week.
If I can get him to do
They
something.
might put some kind of a flash.
Those are fantastic. That's the
Thanks,
perfect
Lee.
place.
Flasher on top of it.
any citizens wishing to come before the council this evening?
I got just a little bit more information about Sixth Street, because I was interested in that a couple of years ago before things started really. It wasn't a good building in the first place. Anyway, at the historic preservation meeting, since that's public, there was a gentleman up here wishing to purchase out on the tax rolls. I think he probably put his name in for that, but he was planning on tearing it down. So according to what happens with the taxes, that'd be, what, a year away before anything can happen on it.
At the earliest.
So it's an owner in Indianapolis, I think, that has a building now. And he bought it on a tax roll for less than $1,000.
I'd still like to be able to intervene to see if we could do the testing to know, or is the state, would they make him test it before he tore the building down?
I mean, I don't know how technically he owns that. Does he technically own that?
If you don't own it, if you buy it at tax sale, you go
Well-
through a redemption period.
Technically
One
does.
year why that owns it, he got it 2 or 3 years ago, so he does own it now.
Does it go back to the
There's
oil
another guy
company
that
though?
might buy it on the tax.
Technically, a lot of the properties do. That was a Texaco.
Is it a chain of title now?
Dave,
It's in the chain of title.
he's the one, he tried to give you that property in court a few weeks ago.
Oh, that's right, that's right. Yeah, we had him in court.
One way or the other.
You don't want that property.
You'll
If we
get,
get it, we're gonna test.
you'll have a
The
deed
taxes
slid
have
under your
closed,
door.
But they have been removed. And who knows where they're at.
And you
They
know,
may be
it's
running.
okay if they've been closed, and if they've been closed properly, and IDEM has those records. That's not a problem. It really isn't.
They do soil samples and they're saturated soil. There's a major problem.
Greg, you'll
there.
get a deed slid under your
There
door.
Huh?
still is.
On free.
I said, when they do soil samples, I'm sure there's contaminated soil. Every service station, they go in there and drop the gas, they spill it and all that stuff. And we had the standard station, we had new tanks put in. It came and rained, those tanks floated up. They're on Main.
They're more knowledgeable than I,
Yeah,
but I
yeah.
know if they're closed properly. My
Yeah.
consultant said.
I'm
it's
sure,
no problem.
I'm sure it's saturated.
I'll keep an eye on it.
Any other citizens?
Good evening, guys, everyone. Sorry, guys. Sean Dufault with the Chamber of Commerce. I just wanted to first thank all of you who are seeking election tomorrow for coming out to the candidate forum. We really appreciate your attendance as well, and I think it made a very good, successful evening. I learned a lot. I also want to make you aware that we are having a ribbon cutting ceremony on November 18th at 10 a.m. at the Star Financial Bank at 10 a.m. on the 18th. And right now, we're also in the midst of working on Shop Local for the upcoming shopping holiday holiday season. So hopefully, keep aware of that, and we'll get more information out when that comes more into fruition for all of our realtor, retailers, and businesses. And of course, as always, don't forget, December 5th, 2019, the Christmas walk. So,
Well, what time's the Christmas walk start?
5:30.
5:30. What time's the ribbon cutting ceremony?
That's at 10 o'clock on the 18th.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Any other citizens wishing to come before the council this evening?
Your Honor, I move we adjourn.
Meeting adjourned.
Hey, guys,